Hey everyone, welcome back. A few of you mentioned something called a visa integrity fee, a $250 fee that some people may have to pay just to cross into the United States. So I did a bit of digging, and it looks like it wasn't some headline announcement. It was buried inside Donald's so-called big beautiful bill. Now, US tourism is already in bad shape. If you've seen my videos, that's pretty much all I talk about. So why on earth would Donald make it even harder for people to visit the US? Honestly, it's like shooting yourself in the foot and then acting surprised when it hurts. The article I'm going to show you doesn't have all the details yet. Why? Because the administration themselves haven't even confirmed the details. But I'm going to walk through the article and give you my thoughts on how this could affect Canadians and international tourists in the future. Before I start, a quick shout out to our channel members. I had no idea what to expect when I enabled the memberships. But on day one, so many of you signed up. I'm still learning how to make the most of it. But being able to spot your comments more easily has made a huge difference. Thank you again for your support. You motivate me to keep going. Just a quick note on today's backdrop. It's from Capilano Suspension Bridge in North Vancouver. Great place to visit if you're in the area, but if you're afraid of heights, you might want to pick somewhere else. I came across a short 30-second report from 11 Alive NBC about the visa integrity fee, and I thought it was important to include for a bit of context. So before we get into everything else, let's just take a quick look.
Soon it could be more expensive for people to visit the United States. Some tourists, students, and even business travelers could face a new visa fee of $250. Details are limited, but it's called the Visa Integrity Fee. It was included in the GOP's big, beautiful bill that just became law. The Visa Integrity Fee applies for all visitors requiring a non-immigrant visa. As of now, the fee has not been implemented. It's not clear when it will begin.
Now, just to be clear, there's no official word yet on whether this will affect Canadians. Right now, Canadians don't need to fill out a physical visa application to enter the US. All we have to do is cross the border and show our passports. But based on this clip we just watched, this new fee definitely targets tourists, business travelers, and students. And like everything else lately, the rules can change fast. All right, let's jump into the article from NBC New York. Visitors to the United States will need to pay a visa integrity fee, according to the provision of the Trump administration's recently enacted One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The fee applies to all visitors who need non-immigrant visas to enter and cannot be waived. However, travelers may also be able to get fees reimbursed according to the provision. Details about the new requirements are scant, which resulted in significant changes and unanswered questions regarding the implementation. All right, here's my first question. How do you roll out a brand new fee without having all the details ready? It honestly feels like someone in the administration was sitting around with a beer and said, hey, let's charge $250 to everyone entering the US. We'll figure out the rest later. That's what it sounds like. And for what's left of the US tourism, this is only going to make things worse. If you're a tourism official trying to bring back international visitors, this makes your job a lot harder. Now, I'll go back to the non-immigrant visa part in just a minute, because it tells what kind of visitors this actually applies to. How much is the fee? The fee will be at least $250 during the US fiscal year of 2025, which runs from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2025. However, the Secretary of Homeland Security is free to set it higher according to the provision. Thereafter, the visa integrity fee will be adjusted for inflation. Now, if this applies to your situation and you're traveling with your spouse and 2 kids, that's 4 people. Now you're looking at an extra $1,000 just to cross into the United States. Not for a hotel, not for a flight, just to step through the border. Sounds great, doesn't it? Who must pay for the new fee? The visa integrity fee applies to all visitors who need non-immigrant visas, which include tourists, business travelers, and international students. When is the fee paid? The fee is paid when the visa is issued, according to the provision. Thus, visitors whose visa requests are denied will not be charged. Well, I guess if you get denied, you get your money back. Now, based on what the article says, this new fee applies to tourists, business travelers, and students. So that raises a question. If I need to visit family in the US for an emergency, I now have to pay $250 just to visit? Or if I have a work trip, a meeting, or a short conference, does that mean I have to tack on another $250 on top of everything else? This whole visa integrity fee just feels like another deterrent, added to the list right next to 51st rhetoric, border safety concerns, ICE, and the reality of being in the same space as 77 million people who voted for Donald. Now, I'm not going to go into the next 2 points, but you can read it yourself, and I'll leave a link in the description. But what isn't known? The fee hasn't been implemented, and it's not clear when it will begin. To me, this honestly sounds like something they just came up with on the spot just to put it in the big beautiful bill. No real plan, no proper rollout, just another half-assed idea rushed out the door. And with Donald's track record, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually talk out on this as well. It fits the pattern. It's also unclear how the travelers will pay the fee, the US Travel Association told CNBC. So right now, there's absolutely no clear process on how this magical $250 fee is even supposed to be paid. And if there is an issue, like you're denied or you need a refund, the lawyer interviewed basically stated, consider it a non-refundable fee. Now think about this for a second. I'm a Canadian, I want to visit the US, and I pay this stupid $250 fee up front. Then something goes wrong, now I have to figure out how to get my money back. And to even try, I'd probably have to hand over my bank and credit card info to the US government. Do I want to do that? Yeah, no. That's a hard no from me. So what's the purpose of this fee? President Taco's One Big Beautiful Bill provides necessary policies and resources to restore integrity into our nation's immigration system. Data shows that most visa holders comply with their visa terms. For the fiscal year between 2016 to 2022, between 1 to 2% of non-immigrant visitors overstayed their visas in the United States, according to the U.S. Congressional Research Service. However, an estimated 42% of the approximate 11 million unauthorized population living in the United States entered the country illegally but overstayed the period of admission, the data shows. So instead of focusing on the people who actually overstay their visas, their solution is, let's just slap a stupid $250 fee on everyone entering the US, even those who follow the rules. That's not a fix, that's a blanket penalty. And now that they're saying that the revenue for this fee is supposed to restore the integrity of the immigration system, come on, let's be real. It sounds more like it's going to pad someone's wallet, not fix anything. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that. Now, the next bullet point shows how the fee could impact incoming travelers, and it brings up a big one, the FIFA World Cup in 2026. If this fee goes through, it could seriously hurt the international attendance. Let's be honest, who's going to deal with all the current risks that we have right now and pay the extra $250 on top of that just to enter the US? That's a pretty tough sell for most travelers. These hurdles are compounded by a problem at Brand USA, the destination marketing organization that promotes inbound travel into the United States, which saw the One Big Beautiful Act slash its funding from $100 million to $20 million. The cut came after the US Commerce Department fired nearly half of the Brand USA's board members in April. So I had to Google what Brand USA even was because I honestly had no idea. Turns out it's the US government's official marketing agency for promoting tourism to other countries. Basically, it's supposed to help bring in international visitors. Now, I don't know enough about how US agencies work to say if this one is essential or not. But here's what I do know. If your president is already tanking your tourism industry and doing it with full support of 77 million followers, then maybe the US doesn't need a tourism agency at all. Now, I'm not saying I agree with cutting it. I'm just saying he's shooting himself in the foot, again. Now, I want to go back to the beginning of the article. It says the fees applies to all visitors who need non-immigrant visas to enter. Okay, so what does that actually mean? What are non-immigrant visas and who's going to be affected by this new fee? Let's take a closer look. Now here's a list of non-immigrant visa categories. This is taken from travel.state.gov. I'll put it in the description if you want to take a look for yourself. Now I'm only going to read a few of them, but the ones I think that would pertain to us. Athlete, amateur or professional, Australian professional specialty, business visitor, crew member, foreign military personnel, foreign national with extraordinary abilities in science, arts, education, business, and athletics, intra-company transfer, media, journalist, performing athlete, artist, and entertainer. Now this one, does that mean every NHL player that plays in Canada when they go to play in the US, they have to pay a $250 fee now? Next, students, academic, vocational. This is the big one, tourism, vacation, pleasure, visitor. And the last one that really kind of stands out, transiting the US. What I just read out is only some of the visas this new integrity visa fee applies to. And it's not a rumor. It comes straight from the US official government website. Tourists, business visitors, and even people just transiting through the US. This would apply to a lot of us. Now, Canadians don't need a visa for entry. We don't need to fill out a form or anything. But let's be honest, with the way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if that changed soon. Either way, the process is clearly getting tougher. Even victims of human trafficking would be expected to pay a $250 fee. Let that sink in. So what's my point here? My point is we now have neighbors with a government that's becoming more radical by the day. And instead of fixing real problems, they're adding pointless fees on top of the chaos already in place. So my best advice, and I know many of you already feel the same, just don't go. It's not worth the stress. If this really does go through though, that $250 fee might be the final push that stops the last few Canadians who are still crossing the border. Just think about it. A Canadian family of 4 going to Disneyland could end up paying an extra $1,000 just to get into the country. If the Canadians still crossing into the US don't care about our country's sovereignty, they might start to care when it begins to cost them a lot more. If this video helped you, hit the like and subscribe so more people can see it. Share it with your friends and tap that bell icon so you know when the next video is coming up. And if you're still here, check out the videos showing up on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.